This table's clutch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this spot looked completely different from when I was in here last. And that was what, like 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I find weird joy in like moving things around, whether it be like helping Austin move in or me move out of Philly, or even stuff from upstairs to downstairs. Like I find a weird pleasure in creating these spaces.
Yeah.
Just decorating. Because going back to what you said, I think it's important to surround yourself with beauty and inspiration. Like, and that's what all of this stuff is. I look at each thing and I'm like, oh, cool. Like this 3D printed Onwards bike, dude.
Or even like months at a time, rearranging things in different rooms. It's nice. You walk in, it's different feel. You think about different things because it looks different.
The energy's different. You shift the energy around. It's like a feng shui thing. Feng shui is like how energy flows. And there's people who are actually, oh, Dexter's here. Hey, Dexter.
You made it.
Could you lean over and shut that door for me, brother? Thank you. Dexter, what's up, man? Papa Squat. Look at him. He's so good, bro. It's a good dog. Shout out to Dexter. Yeah, man. Change is good. Change is good.
Always.
If you're not growing, you're dying. This microphone, the thing that you have to get used to the most, I think, is the microphones and making sure they pick you up.
Because I do like to move around and sit in different variations. Like if I sit with my leg up, then my head goes in a different direction, and I'm farther away. Or I like to lean back if I'm thinking more, and I move around a lot.
Yeah. So no, you're right. Ooh, that feels way better though.
You know, if I got to bring it with me, or I saw the camera over there, so I was like, I don't know if I should be hanging in there like this.
How amazing is it that we live in a time where we can actually sit down and do this kind of shit? Like
right in your home.
With the technology, but just like the fact that any of this is possible is insane. Like I can reach over and hit that button.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And
What a time to be alive. Present it to the world, share it with other people.
Yeah.
And they find value in it. That's what I'm saying, dude. I've been having these conversations, like I said. Last time you and I spoke, we talked about psychedelics and the power that we think they have to help heal.
It's under here, I think.
Okay.
I gotta make sure I move this right.
A little bit of interference, folks. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably all right.
Okay. Technical difficulties.
I'll move.
It's electronics.
Yeah.
These damn electronics.
It's the blue.
You could do some ASMRs. What is it? ASM. What is it?
ASMR. I think.
ASMR. Yeah.
Yeah.
ASMR. But what I was like, what I was saying is, conversations like these, I think, are psychedelic in that they help expand consciousness, plant seeds of ideas, get to know someone, connect on like a deeper, more intimate level. Like it's just you and me. We're not fucking dealing with our phones. Really, we have the laptop here and this, but like, there's no other form of communication like it, and that's what's cool about it.
And it just doing this kind of live and having you in my ears, it's a completely different feeling. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, I'm listening to a podcast, but I'm watching you, and I'm partaking in such, and I can hear myself. Yeah, and it's fucking cool. Yeah, it's so cool.
Check. It's interesting hearing your own voice in the microphone. People reached out to me. They were like, "You'd be a good radio host." I'm like, "Oh man."
Well, I interviewed someone via Skype the other day. And they said, they were like, I thought your voice sounded different. And I was like, well, it's probably because of my microphone. I didn't have my microphone on at the time. So I was talking through my AirPods. And like, well, I thought you sounded different. And yeah, I do. And I probably sound different on this now too.
Definitely.
Because the clarity makes anyone sound
different.
Yeah.
When you speak versus when you hear it back, this is like a whole different thing. But when you speak and like hear yourself on a video or a Snapchat or a story, you're like, why does my voice sound so weird? It's because when you speak, when you're in your body, you're also feeling the vibrations of your vocal cords, and you're not experiencing that when you hear your voice back. But with these headphones on, you're hearing it back, but you're also feeling that vibration.
Yeah.
And it's deeper. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Yeah.
It's the deepest my voice has ever been.
Yeah.
So it picks up how you hear your voice, but louder.
And I didn't know that when people record these, they hear themselves speak. I thought it was just, if you talk, I can hear you. I didn't know. It's just like an echo. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Check. Yeah, you were excited when you said that.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
It's definitely a step up. Yeah. That's the thing, dude. If you have the resources and you set those intentions, like you can create this kind of stuff, whether it be a podcast or a streaming brand or whatever.
Right.
You got, like, you're moving tomorrow. It's like a big thing in your life. We're talking about change. It's transformative, and it's like a fresh start for you. You're moving to Florida, from New Jersey to Florida.
Yeah.
It's exciting, dude.
It's huge.
What are your thoughts on that? How you feeling about it?
If we really want to get into that now, it's I had someone ask me the other day. They go, "Dude, are you scared?" And I was scared of the dark when I was little.
Okay.
And my parents would always tell me there's nothing to be afraid of.
No.
And that's just kind of come full circle where it's like I've been through enough situations of adversity and losing and failing. It's like, what really do I have to lose?
Exactly.
Oh, some embarrassment will come. Failure's going to come, but like
failure's part of it.
For a short period of time, for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, but then what? If that stuff even comes, which those things I'm not scared of. So I'm not scared, not at all.
That's awesome.
I'm excited. Yeah. I really am excited.
It's a little bit scary moving because just moving in itself is like I got to get all my shit and I got to put it in my car or a truck or a U-Haul and I got to move it thousands of miles, hundreds if not thousands of miles away. And but it's important, like you said, no fear. Yeah. I this hat that I'm wearing actually says no fear on the back of it.
Yep.
It's my dad's hat. It's older than me.
Yeah.
I've been wearing it a lot. And like Mac Miller says, bro, you got the swimming album right behind you, all these synchronicities.
Yeah.
He says you got to jump in to swim. So, like, you can't be afraid. Especially, man, starting a podcast, same thing.
Yeah.
You're taking that leap of faith. You're, like, trusting yourself, knowing that change is inevitable to
and
bring
all
it
the
back.
money that you're putting into this, all the time, effort, all the setting up.
It's an investment, man.
Huge. People are scared of that.
That's what I'm saying. They're afraid of failing. But that's part of it. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of disappointing other people. And you can't be, bro, because you could literally do anything. We are infinite creative beings, and we can manifest and do anything. It's like, it's cliche, but it's like if you set your mind to it, you can if you believe, you can achieve. But like, it's true, bro. Like, magic is real.
What it is.
Yeah, man.
I feel as though I'm standing on the cliff of mediocrity right now. And
go ahead.
I'm looking over, and I can see into the water that a lot of goals and aspirations that I want to achieve are right there. And Florida just so happens to be in that water, and I'm jumping.
Literally. Jump in, man.
I'm fucking jumping. Like, I don't.
You'll swim.
And it's and I'm not that good of a swimmer, which is pretty interesting, but it's just all of these pieces have just aligned for me to be there with the brand and other things. And
I think
I'm 25, whatever.
You're young. You're young. That's the thing. I'm 23. I'm going to be 24 next month. Wow. But like, you can do it.
Yeah.
We all can.
Yeah.
We all have that power. Mm-hmm. There was somewhere I wanted to jump with that, but these conversations, they go.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Turn my phone on vibrate.
And sometimes I lay awake at night, not because I'm anxious or because I'm scared.
You're excited.
I'm so excited to just live the next day of my life to the fullest. And I don't want to take any day for granted. You know, I just love waking up and just doing something every single day.
That's beautiful.
I simplify it. You know, people get stuck in their own ways. They think about things too much. Weeks, months down the road.
They don't like change.
I love change. For some odd reason, if I'm too comfortable for a long period of time, we were just talking about this. I move things around. Yeah. I even move. I
change the energy. You literally move everything.
I move. I pack up my car and go.
Peace.
Yeah.
There's something that's cleansing about that. It's just leaving space, making space for new energy to enter your life.
Exactly.
That's how I felt about moving back here. That was a risk. I had to jump in. I was like, I'm moving back home after college. Like, but like probably one of the best things that ever happened. This probably wouldn't be popping off the way it is. The room we're in, all this, it's good, man. You just got to take those leaps.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say was like, it's fear that holds everybody back. You touched on that. Fear it's just ego, man.
True.
It's all ego.
Entirely.
I read in The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield. Definitely read that book. He talks about the more resistance you feel towards something, the more important it is for your soul's journey, because the resistance is your ego trying to self-sabotage and get in the way. But like, if you can transcend that.
Wait, really quick. Is that called The Art of War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Stephen Pressfield.
This is the third time that I'm hearing this in the past 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I just got off the beach.
I think I have the book behind you.
I downloaded the audiobook 2 hours ago because my dad told me to listen to it. You're the third person that is telling me about this book just
today.
Single-handedly.
Second person today.
In the past 3 days. Yeah, second person today.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should read it. It's right behind you on that shelf.
That's insane.
It's a cool book. It's
My
easy
buddy
to read.
Ryan, he ordered it too. He has it on the way. But so I didn't mean to cut you off. Just
You're
when
good.
you said
No,
that
that's crazy synchronicity. There's been so many synchronicities that have happened during the recording of this podcast. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I have. Synchronicities are everywhere. And I think do you know what a synchronicity is?
Proceed.
It's like when everything like lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like you could see it in numbers, repeating numbers. You look at the clock, 333, 1111. Like that's synchronicities, I think. Or if I mention Mac Miller, you got to jump in to swim, and then Mac Miller swimming album is framed behind you. And then when I say the word of art, and you're like, oh, that's synchronicity.
Yeah.
There's been a lot, and they happen all the time. And those are little winks from the universe. And to me, it's like you're on the right path. Like keep going.
Yeah.
Onwards, keep going.
And even on the way to the beach today, like I saw this truck that
Synchronicities.
was driving by that was, it had the name of a car company. And I used to work for this company in Philly, and I did marketing for that car company.
Yeah, I remember you live in Philly.
And I've
Same
never
time as me.
seen the name of this company anywhere, and I saw it on the side of this truck, and it just took me back, and I was like, this is it's not an accident. Like these things just don't happen by accident.
Everything's connected, bro. Let me tell you some crazy shit. So
Can't believe you mentioned that book. That's crazy.
yeah, synchronicity. And when I connected all those dots in that moment, I looked at the clock and it was 6:16. So you see those books down under where the dinosaur bookends are? Yes. Should be towards the right side front. War of Art, Stephen Pressfield. Just kidding, it's not over there. I lied to you. I'm so sorry.
You have good books here. Think and Grow Rich. That's a great book. And a 50-cent book, I always wanted to read that too.
Robert Greene, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
50th Law.
Yep.
That book's great too. Talks about books are important, bro. Before I talk about that book, I used to hate reading when I was in high school growing up. Just didn't like it.
Couldn't pay attention.
Couldn't pay attention. The books that they have you read in school, it's like I get some of the literature books, the stories, Tom Sawyer, The Kite Runner. Actually, out of all 12 years of going to public school, The Kite Runner was the only book I read cover to cover. At least the only book I read cover to cover. But then after I graduated high school, I read Code of the Extraordinary Mind. And that book just talks about question everything, you can create your reality, like all that. That book woke up. I woke up to the fact, I was like, oh shit, books are awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why didn't I read this when I was 15, 14?
Yep.
Think and Grow Rich. Same thing. War of Art. I'm listening to, I should say, The Book of Five Rings, written by Miyamoto Musashi. I think he's a samurai from the 15th to the 16th century. Joe Rogan's samurai tattoo, that's Musashi.
I see.
Yeah. He wrote The Book of Five Rings, and it talks about, he's a samurai, bro. And he talks about the perfect samurai must be balanced. So good at combat, one-on-one fighting, sword fighting, katana skills, but he should also be gifted in poetry and art.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yeah, you had it was that, but it was two of them. It was both samurais back to back, and I asked you about it.
This orange one right here.
Yep. That's the one.
That's a similar one. Samurais are cool, man.
Yeah.
Here, wait.
Yeah, they are.
Have you seen the samurai sword I got?
I went to pull it out. It's pretty overwhelming, so I kept it in there. I didn't want to Mortal Kombat myself, and didn't want to pull a quick fatality, so let's see it. Yeah, this is dope.
We're back. I decided not to
Pull
out the samurai sword.
Yeah, it's big.
Sharp. It's real. Fuck you up. Kill somebody.
Yeah.
Kill somebody.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, I was like, I should get a gun. Just because who knows what was back in March, April, you didn't know what was going to happen. Oh, yeah. Can you let him out, bro? Thank you. So I was like, if shit pops off, man, who knows? World War III, whatever. People go crazy.
Yeah.
We're fine now. Like, we're living. But I had the COVID fear in the beginning. I was like, I need something to protect myself.
People are rioting, looting places. I mean, I thought about the same thing, getting a gun maybe. Honestly, I thought about it. And
Yeah, me too.
Scary
I
that I got.
and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a samurai sword. 'Cause that's way easier. It's on Amazon. I'll get it in 4 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Handmade samurai sword, just in case.
Easy.
If you pull up to a fight, and I'm a pacifist, I don't believe in that shit, but sometimes you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You pull up to a fight, dude's got a samurai sword, that fight's over before it started, bro.
Yeah. You're not getting close to that thing. I'm not.
No.
I'm not standing in the way.
No. But yeah, man, we're living now. Like, I definitely had the fear in the beginning, but
well, and the thing is, like, once you start taking small jumps, like you having your brand, obviously you invested in yourself multiple times, so you've been there, done that, so we can say like, oh, it's all about that big leap, but it really isn't, because once you start taking leaps, there's really no size to them, because then as time goes on, then it's really, when you look back on it, oh, maybe it wasn't that big, as opposed to, like, I could say moving to Florida is like a huge leap,
right?
But then down the road something else comes, and then I have to take it again, just take another chance, roll the dice again, like over and over. It's just chance, you know?
Another way I think is cool to look at them, like you said, the size really doesn't matter. They're just steps forward. Like, as long as you're moving forward, like, you're good.
Yes.
That's why I'm naming this Forward Evolution, this podcast, Onwards. You know what Onwards is. Like, my first real creative project, my first baby right out of high school. We started with Exotic, Wasu, shout out. And it's been cool, man. The fact that, like you were saying earlier, if you just jump in and do the things necessary, unapologetically be yourself is a good way to put it. That's what I said in the last podcast.
Yep.
And it's just important, man, to just go for shit. Believe in yourself.
Yep.
And just don't worry about big or small. Am I doing the right? Just someone said to me, Rocky Garza, I was talking to him, and I said, how can I wake up and be my best self every day? And he said, don't think of it as your best self. He said, because that's ego. He said, ask yourself, am I being my truest self today? And that spoke to me, because all of this stuff, Onwards, the podcast, making shirts, all that, it's just what I love to do, what I'm passionate about, makes me happy, and it makes other people happy and inspires them, just like the stuff that you're doing. And, you know, it's important to, if you have that gift, you have a similar gift where we're not afraid of failure. We don't have much fear towards a lot of things. We've seen the work and the jumping in work for us. We're manifesting all this stuff because we believe and we put the time and energy in. People want instant gratification, bro.
Yeah.
Shit takes work.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're moving to Florida. That's just another brick on the wall. Everything you do, starting a podcast, moving to Florida, it's a brick on that wall of the empire you're building.
Exactly.
Wow. Quote that shit.
Exactly.
Oh, no. I gotta learn the buttons, bro.
Yeah, you'll get
That's
them.
what I'm looking for.
You'll get them.
It's too far away, that's why.
Well, and another big thing.
We're still going.
Why, like, Florida, everyone thinks Florida's a fun place.
Florida's awesome. Got a lot of love for the state of Florida. I was in St. Pete last week, hanging out with the family. Yam, Austin, Riley, Austin. Or Ryan, Austin, Riley, Austin. Yeah, man, a lot of love for Florida. It's exciting, man. Especially where you're living, where you're going to move is sick. I've been there. It's a weird, again, synchronicity. Like,
so,
what are the chances of that?
Do tell.
So, okay, you're probably going to go down there and link up with Austin, and who knows what that will form into.
Yeah.
He's also another driven person, motivated, changing people's lives, inspiring, helping people, raising the vibration of the planet.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get hippy-dippy with you and woo-woo, that's what it is.
And what are the odds of Austin Silver living in the same building as my buddy Ryan? Where
same
I'm
building,
going.
Same building, same floor, same property.
It's insane.
St. Pete.
But yeah, I mean, I am looking to have some fun, but I'm kind of happy that summer's over, because I'm going there for, I don't want to say I'm going there for free parking, but that's a lot of what I'm going to be doing down there.
It's
because
the next jump.
When you're in a group of people, like if you're around very creative people, ideas just bounce.
They bounce
all the time.
They flow. They get bigger and better.
Yeah.
More refined.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing, dude. It's powerful.
It is. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited.
There's a place right across the street. It's called The Getaway. Right across the street from the property, maybe a 1-minute drive, 2-minute drive. But it's over somewhat of a big, like a Route 38 type road.
Okay. Yes, it's off a highway. Yep.
You said you want to go out. It's a good spot, dude. Hammocks, outdoor, beach, sand, palm trees, little restaurant. It's a good spot, dude.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was so you were there more recently than I was. How was?
I was there 2-3 weeks ago. So I was in Florida. I know there's COVID. I self-quarantined myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just in public, like, because I was there May, people weren't wearing masks. That was a little bit before
the Florida.
Yeah.
We're in New Jersey right now, South Jersey, Morristown.
So we know how to handle it.
There's a lot of that's what I noticed driving to Florida, moving Austin and Riley in July 4th weekend. The further and further we got south, because Ryan and I drove the U-Haul 16 hours straight from Harrisburg, PA, which is 2 hours north of here, to
that's right, you took
to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, to Jacksonville. Sorry. That was 16 hours straight in like one hit. But we did that shit. Are you gonna stop? Because you got Husky Drive.
For gas, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
other than that, I'm
gas
not
and
stopping.
snacks. So
I'm not stopping.
The further and further we got south, the less and less people had their masks on.
Wow.
We got to this one state. You go to Target right now. All the employees have masks. Everybody, all the people in the stores have masks. You're in South Carolina, Florida, Northern Florida. Not even the employees got masks on.
Still, huh?
They got the glass plates.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm gonna wear mine. I'm wearing mine for sure.
I don't like wearing them, bro.
I don't either.
I think it's a whole bunch of hoopla, but you gotta wear them.
You think so?
I don't know, dude. I feel like the virus there's a lot of fishy shit going on with it.
I
There's definitely a virus.
agree.
People are getting sick and dying, but I don't think it's as bad as the media is leading us to believe.
I agree.
That shit's so low vibrational. Just again, news outlets and media. Its purpose is to inform. Yes, news is noteworthy events in sports. That's what news stands for. But it's controlled and it's used to create more fear.
Absolutely, I was gonna say to scare us,
to keep our vibrations low.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news, bro. I took my dad off the news. It's just it's fucked up.
It is, especially the local
Got
news.
unplugged from the Matrix.
Yeah, like Fox News. It's all negativity. It's all crime. It's all murders.
It all is.
Yeah, and
but like this is the new news.
Yeah.
More people are watching podcasts every single day. I have some form of podcast playing. It's mostly Joe Rogan. I just throw the video on YouTube, sit back and just open another tab and just do work. And you learn shit from these things, man. It's important. I'll listen to Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell podcasts. They go back 10 years. There's so many with Duncan. Some of the best. If you're listening, watch any Joe Rogan podcast with Duncan Trussell. Their podcasts I've watched 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And every time I watch them, I'm like, oh shit, you learned something new.
Yeah.
They're valuable, man. That's why, again, to bring it back, the reason I wanted to start this podcast is because I've been having these conversations with people. And I'm like, shit, like I wish I could record these. You and I have had many of them. Just most people who I've been around. I hate that, boring, everyday chit-chat. How's the weekend? How's the weather?
Yeah.
But like.
How was work?
Yeah.
It was work. Like, what do you want from me?
Good.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college? Oh, yeah. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm having these conversations. I wish I could. We're talking about aliens and different dimensions and these declassified CIA documents and just these topics that they're thought provoking and they make you think about the world around you, question everything.
Yeah.
And okay, so here's one. But the whole point I want to make before I dive down the fucking aliens rabbit hole is I wanted to record these conversations. I wish I could have recorded them because I would have loved to listen back to them, and I know other people would have gotten value. So that's why we started a podcast, bro, because now we exist through audio forever.
Yeah.
Put this on YouTube where we exist forever.
Yep.
We die tomorrow, like this is forever.
Or even like we were just talking about Austin and Ryan. Like if they were a part of this conversation too, they'd be like, what? No way.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. That's why I bought 4 microphones. They should be here any day.
That's amazing.
They're taking forever, though.
And just real quick, if you do want to take a deep dive into the alien, like you mentioned.
Okay, thanks, bro, for bringing me back.
Yeah, of course. Just people now, they have the choice with news. Like you said, podcasting is the new news. Like
form of it.
Now people are given more of a choice, which is great, as opposed to putting on the news and it's just all bad news. You choose what you want to listen to. You choose what you want to watch.
Yes.
Like people want to say Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're bad places, but that's your choice. You choose who you want to follow. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Twitter's my news and it's great. I love it. I have a good time on Twitter. I spend a lot of time on it.
Yep.
And there's
Instagram,
good stuff, man.
Twitter, TikTok. They're
funny places.
You learn from those apps. Like, yeah, okay, social media and cell phones and technology, there's a negative, but there's also a lot of positives with it too, man. I've been learning so much through TikTok. Who would have thought that shit where people dance and
yeah, it's entertaining.
I'm learning. That's how I found out about these. We'll dive into this CIA document.
Really?
But
you found that on?
Someone made a TikTok about it, and I was like, get out of here.
People cook on TikTok? You see people?
People cook. Do everything. I throw up videos of me printing Onwards shirts. Go to onwardscollective.com to get yours, hand printed by yours truly. Here's one. I'm wearing it.
There it is.
Free ads.
There it is.
Yeah, we got it. Where was I going with that? Talking about aliens. Where was I, Brandon? Before we got so distracted,
you were gonna go into the documents a little bit. Is that related to the aliens or?
It is and it isn't. So what I wanted to ask you about aliens, and one of the conversations I had with my friend Noah was all about different dimensions, and if alien just means, I guess, anything out of the extraordinary. What does alien actually define? What is the actual definition of alien?
People just assume that they live in outer space, and then they come here on their spaceships, and they just...
So are aliens terrestrial and extraterrestrial, meaning like space aliens, or aliens from the potential hollow Earth? But that's another conversation. That's another theory.
Interesting. You got to school me on that. I don't know about that.
I don't know about it either, but it's a theory.
We're going to learn today.
Yeah, I got to dive deeper into it. I got to do some of my research. But
yeah,
are aliens also dimensional? Can aliens reside in higher dimensions? So think about this. Our human meat suit is very clunky in terms of we only have these 5 senses. We can only see a certain, we can only hear a certain frequency of sound, certain decibels.
Right.
We can only see a certain, when you light up a prism, you can see all the color spectrum. You can only see a certain color spectrum, but there's shit going on around us all the time that we can't pick up on.
Yes.
In this third dimension that we live on Earth, like you ever see cats or dogs or even like bees? What the fuck do bees see when they fly around? Or your dog is just like looking up at something and he's like barking at the wall. It's like they have different bodies, different abilities, different brains. Like their hearing is amazing. Their sense of smell, like we can't smell like dogs smell or hear like a dog whistle. We don't hear a dog whistle, but they like freak out.
Or like a fly, how they can see you coming and like before you even
their speed move so fast.
Yeah,
you're moving so fast, but they move somehow even faster.
Right.
That's why you gotta buy the bug assault. It's a salt gun that you like cock it and it shoots salt out and you kill flies with it. It's a novelty way to kill flies. But who's to say like we can't? There's dimension. They think that there's up to the actual definition of aliens belonging to a foreigner, especially one who's not a neutralized citizen of a country where they live. So I guess alien has to do with country or nations.
Huh.
Anything that isn't understand. Maybe ghosts are aliens. I don't know. But so again, ghosts.
I was just gonna go into that because I definitely believe in ghosts, and people want to assume that ghosts are gonna scare you. They're all bad, which is completely not true.
Because this is touchy, but
some could be.
But I love these conversations because this is valuable kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, are ghosts in other dimensions? Do they reside in higher dimensions? And
they have to.
They think that black holes are when two universes like collide into each other. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive that's what that is. It's universes that collide into each other.
Right.
And they could detect shit with gravity waves, with laser beams under the earth, and technology that I don't understand because I'm not a doctor and I'm a dumb chimpanzee person. But
yeah, who podcasts?
Yeah, who podcasts and does all kinds of cool stuff. Eats mushrooms.
Yeah,
like the apes did. The stoned ape theory is a cool theory. That pre-human hominids would chomp on mushrooms. They claim Terence McKenna has the stoned ape theory where when we were still monkeys, if we evolved from apes. When we started coming out of the trees, the earth got warmer. We started coming out of the trees. We were flipping over cow patties to find food, and we find these psychedelic mushrooms, and we'd eat them. And I don't know if you've ever taken mushrooms, but I have. And when you take mushrooms and you take these psychedelics, talking about dimensions, I think your consciousness is almost somewhat of a dimension higher, if that makes sense. Like we're still in your third dimensional body, but your consciousness has just been elevated. It's been expanded. Ooh, a little bit.
Yeah. And you mentioned that before.
Yeah. And where was I? I'm all over the place today. Okay, so if these 8 people ate these mushrooms for hundreds of thousands of years, the idea is that our brain cavities like doubled in size, and our brain got massive compared to probably the size of this patch to what our brains are now. If you look up a picture of a chimp's testicles and brain, they're very similar in size.
Right.
It's very sad. But that's a stoned ape theory that eating psychedelic mushrooms, creating that neurogenesis, those nootropics, more enhanced brain activity. They developed language, they developed communities, art, creativity, literature, because your consciousness has been expanding. It's just a theory, but it's like pretty cool to think about. I think it's more than likely, sorry to the religious people out there, but I think it's more than likely than Adam and Eve made all the people.
But that's so interesting to me because I did grow up in a religious household, and when I was taught that in school, I completely ignored it.
You were like, I don't know.
I was like, no, that doesn't match in with Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
but
it's interesting.
It just makes so much sense, though.
When you're a kid, it does. It does, because everything's mythical and fantastical.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But as you get older and you start to question your reality and learn more and question, because when we're kids, we think adults know everything, and then we become adults and like, I know some shit, but I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah.
So a little kid, that's fantastical. Religion's interesting. And another thing, to tie it back to psychedelics, it's
Bam.
34 minutes in, man. Cool.
Only 34? That's fucking cool.
I know. It's an energy vortex when you do these kind of things. Feels like we've been here for 5 hours. Seriously. But I love it. That's why Joe Rogan podcast going for 4 hours, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's why you got to listen to it 10 times. It's 4 hours of conversation. If he has Eddie Bravo and Alex Jones on, it's 5 hours. Post Malone was 4 hours.
I have to watch that one.
It was good. It was so good. They talk about aliens and ghosts and different dimensions. Yeah, but...
am I allowed to believe in God and believe in evolution? Like, is that...
What is God to you?
Just basically sum it up, I would definitely say higher power, a higher being, based off of the circumstances that I went through. Okay. Basically, just believing in receiving help or support by...
Universe, God.
Yeah, someone else.
A higher power.
Out there, yeah.
A higher form, a higher energy form.
Or just being faithful, just having faith in the world.
Yeah.
But then evolution itself, that just, it makes sense. And you can see it. You can physically see it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You can see the transformation over time and everything. So
everything evolves. Everything changes. Whether it be you're moving to Florida or you go from a monkey to a human, if that's where we came from, or from a seed to a flower, or a chick to a chicken. Like, evolution. Forward Evolution podcast. Holy shit. Wow, that's cool. Synchronicity right there, baby.
All comes back.
It's all circle, bro. Everything's connected. It's one big spiral. But yeah, dude, I agree. I think God is a higher form of energy. I think God and the universe and energy are all the same thing.
Yeah.
Everything's connected. Even me holding this crazy crystal right here that's billions of years old, like this has energy. I think consciousness is God. Creation. Life.
Yeah.
You, me, the trees, Dexter, this crystal, like we're all the same. We're literally made of stardust.
Yeah.
Things that's in our bones is the same shit that's in this and space. It's all connected, dude.
Yep.
And when you know that and it resonates with you, how could you feel fear, bro?
Yeah.
You are a ghost driving a skeleton that's inside of a meat suit, hurling through space, the infinite space, on a rock, going hundreds of thousands of miles.
That's it.
Around a giant nuclear explosion in the sky.
Yeah.
Dude, don't fear anything.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm not. It's just clarity. It's just overall clarity. And once I've been clear up top for the past couple of years, it's like, not scared of anything.
It's beautiful that you can see life in that light. And for me, it was psychedelics that got me there. And for you, it was your struggle, your adversity.
Oh, yeah.
And your suffering eventually will lead to you, for you to wake up, whatever that suffering is. Your suffering is different than my suffering, then it's different than Dexter's suffering. Mm-hmm. But that's what leads to that awakening. So eventually, if you want to wake up, you'll wake up. Like Alan Watts says, eventually you'll wake up if you want to wake up. But if not, if you want to continue to be a poor little me.
Exactly. You brought it back to choices.
If you choose to live your life that way, then that's exactly what you're going to experience in this life.
Exactly.
It's a law of attraction, man. The energy you put out comes back to you. Again, it's all energy. Everything is energy. This wooden table, everything is vibrating at an energetic frequency. My voice, this sound you hear in your speakers, wherever you're listening to this table, everything is just vibrating. Even atoms vibrate. Like to the smallest thing, everything is moving. Could you shut that door for me real quick? And we'll talk about this document because it's a good segue. So, Brandon, this, again, shout out to motherfuckers on TikTok because I learn, and now you're learning, and now more people are learning. So,
school me on it.
So this is a document from June 1983. It's entitled The Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process. Right? This was approved for 1983. This is declassified from the CIA. You can find it on their website, CIA.gov. If you just Google the Gateway Process, it's the first link, and you can just print it out. It's like 30 pages.
Wow.
I highlighted it. I read it. Freedom of Information Act. This is released 2003. Declassified. Freedom of Information Act. It's a good thing.
Okay.
basically to tie it into aliens and higher dimensions and consciousness and God and this 3-dimensional reality. Basically, what this document talks about is, I have a lot of shit that's highlighted, and every time I read it, I'm just like, come on, bro. Basically, it entails, because I'm dragging on, but it's crazy shit. If you can increase the left and right, the vibrational frequency and amplitude that your brain waves put out, if you can sync up your left and right brain hemisphere, you create what's called hemisync, and you can use the help of binaural beats. You ever put binaural beats in your ears?
Never.
One ear, you hear one frequency, another ear you hear another frequency, and they mesh together, so it's but if you have one, it's just one continuous, another one.
Yeah.
Binaural beats. Certain frequencies putting in your ears, I'm not sure exactly what frequency is, certain hertz, probably like 800 something hertz. I don't know. They help with that hemisync. They help. I think it's alpha waves. It's alpha or beta brain waves. And you create that hemisync. And the idea is when you can do that, you can also get there through transcendental meditation, yoga. There's many ways to get there, psychedelics. You can access higher dimensions with your consciousness and break the limits of time and space. So that sounds insane, and I'm probably butchered it a little bit, but let me just read you some shit from this document. Because it's cool, man. It's got charts and everything. They do, and this was written by an U.S. Army commander. Like,
wow.
They were researching this shit, dude. The CIA is an unstoppable force, and they will do the CIA LSD studies and like all this stuff that they are an unstoppable force, and they have done some really monumental stuff. So it says, fundamentally, the Gateway experience is a training system because like the CIA was doing it. It's a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right brain hemispheres so as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. The participant then gains access to the various levels of intuitive knowledge which the universe offers. Quote, a state of consciousness defined when the EEG patterns, which is like your brainwave frequency, hemispheres are simultaneously equal in amplitude. So it's really cool stuff, man.
So I'm sure later in that they tested it on people and they have charts showing the results.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But it makes, I mean, it resonates with me, you know, whether even dreaming. Where do you go when you dream? Is that a different dimension? People call it the astral realm, the astral plane. Where do you go when you astral project? That shit's crazy. You have these out-of-body experiences. When you smoke DMT, like you go to these higher dimensions that exist through consciousness. Your consciousness, we think we are our body. Well, you're not your body.
Yeah.
You are energy. You are a soul. You're not a human with a soul. You're a soul that is living inside of a human.
Right.
Right here and right now.
Right.
And your consciousness is what enables you to travel to these different places, these different planes, these higher dimensions. If they are dimensions, I think they're dimensions. And I don't know, it's cool as fuck. Like, you can do that shit with your body and with your brain and your mind through meditation. Meditation's changed my life. Yoga, float tanks, all these things. Because it's so important to just check in. Even though we are in a body, but we're not a body, it's important to take care of your mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
Take care of your machine, dude, your meat suit. Work out, eat healthy, get your heart rate up, get a whoop strap, like do yoga. I've been getting real into yoga, and it's just, that's real strength, bro. Like, okay, I might be able to bench 300 pounds, but
because it's balanced.
I can't bench 300 pounds. That's for sure. Let me just say, definitely can't do that yet. But real yoga is like the real strength, bro. Yeah, it is, and you don't notice until you start doing it, but you get stronger. I think it's hard. It's strenuous exercise, and you just want to quit. Yeah, you don't quit. That's your ego. That's fear.
Hot yoga's hard, man.
It is.
It hurt my shoulders for sure,
dude.
Because it's balanced. It shows you what parts of your body are stronger than others. Yes,
it's all in the breath. It's all in flowing the movement with your breath. That's where you gotta be, bro. I see these dudes and guys and gals doing these insane yoga flows, and they're beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful. It's art.
The flow.
You're making art with your body. It's the real flow. I've been to yoga classes and it's cool, but then I love yoga classes. Don't get me wrong. Hot yoga in Florida. I did yoga on the beach. Right near where you're about to live. You can do yoga on the beach classes. It's awesome. And yeah, man, like that's the real strength. But at the same time, it's good for your soul. It's good for your energy body, your light body, if you will. Yeah. Because hot yoga is really hard. How do you feel afterwards? I feel high after I do yoga.
100%.
Like a Peloton. I've been using Peloton yoga, the Peloton app.
Yeah.
And
Peloton's
they have yoga
a real
classes. It's
deal.
not just bikes. It's yoga
I didn't know
classes.
that.
It's yoga classes. It's strength classes. It's running. It's obviously cycling too.
Yep.
Onward cycling.
Yep.
Yeah, Peloton's cool, man. It all these different instructors, different lengths. But after a 30-minute power yoga class, I feel high. I did yoga in Florida with my homie Ryan. We did a class, and my third eye was pulsating afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm very
incredible.
sensitive to energy in my hands. I can actually physically feel it because I'm tapped into it. I'm at that frequency where I can feel that shit. We all have that ability to feel those things. I'm tuned into it, and my third eye was, the energy in my forehead was pulsating. I can feel it after that yoga class. I was like, okay, like, yoga's on some next level shit, man.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate exercise.
I didn't do it right the first time I did it. I was just trying to get through it, and
better.
I knew I wasn't doing it right because of my breathing.
Yeah, it's all in the breath. That's what
Then
I
I was
learned.
fixing it. Instructor was telling me that too.
My friend Ryan says it best, and he says that it's hard and like you want to quit. He said, but afterwards,
It is hard.
he says, I get a little bit stronger. You get
Yeah.
a little bit stronger. And then pretty soon you're doing these crazy handstands, and he does all kinds of crazy shit. And he's been doing yoga for a few months.
Stretches you out too.
It is,
It's
and
good.
it's
It's
just,
good for you.
It's discipline, bro. Like
Yes.
you can do it once and be like, oh, that was great, but it's just discipline and
Yep.
consistency. And that's something that I struggle with too. Like we all struggle with those things, but it's all in the consistency, man.
Yeah.
Just building those habits and because again, like that's real satisfaction. That's dopamine. I was listening to Joe Rogan earlier, and they're talking about there's all these Scientific America studies about dopamine, and they did a whole study on it and how we're addicted to these things, whether it be cell phones or, sex or porn, like sugar. Sugar's a fucking monster.
Yeah. Video games are.
It's all dopamine. We
Yep.
get these quick dopamine hits, and it's addicting. It's instant gratification. That's why you check your phone every 10 minutes. At least most people do. I know I do from time to time, because you want to see that notification. Oh, what's going on? Oh, Isabel, something started. She
Yeah.
liked my photo. I got a text from my mom and my dad.
Right.
Activity detected. Like, whoa,
Yes.
it's dopamine hits. That's
Yeah.
why it's so hard to quit bad habits, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And I
why
know
it's so
that
hard to quit bad habits.
the past couple of months, people being out of routines, not being able to stick to strict schedules has been very hard on people.
But here's the thing. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I use this opportunity to try and file down the routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
me too.
I'm tweaking it. I'm just trying to find what's most sustainable, because you can't, that's an art. You can't rush art. You gotta find what's sustainable for you and live your life. I have friends that can sleep Austin Silver can sleep 6 hours and be up at 2, 3, 4 a.m. trading. Like he's savage.
Yeah.
Other people, you need other things. And you have to find what's sustainable
Yeah.
for you, what works for you.
Yes.
And I think it takes 60 days to form a habit, something like that. And then once I think you form it, it's like part of who you are. It's ingrained in who you are. And you see the risk is, like we say, it's the risk is the reward is way greater than the risk. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but like uncomfortable, bro, you've been uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is the only way you grow.
I love it.
You got to get uncomfortable, and then that's where the real growth starts. Like my wise friend Paul Croft said, he says, there's no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone. And it's true, man. It's so simple, and it's so true.
And it just teaches you so much about yourself that people don't
Does.
understand. They
It
just
does,
want to be
man.
the same forever.
They
Like,
want to be sheep. They're not aware.
change.
They're not it changed.
Yeah,
They're,
sheep.
They're sheeple. They're not aware of their own true divinity, power. We are God.
Yeah.
We're God. We were talking about God earlier. God is not outside. That's why religion. I feel so funny about religion, because it puts God outside of us.
Yeah.
We're God, dude. We are energy. I'm God. Dexter's God. That little bonsai tree is God. That crystal is God. The sound vibrations.
Yeah.
It's all God. It's all energy.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. We're energetic beings. Like I
Mhm.
said, your soul, we have this physical body, this meat suit.
Meat suit.
It'll die off,
That's
but
so
like
funny.
energy can't be controlled or destroyed or created. It just, I think you get recycled after this. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think
that
happens?
too.
What do you think happens when you die?
I believe in reincarnation for
Okay.
sure. I mean, as opposed to your soul just like,
Lights off, lights out.
yeah, or floating away somewhere in the atmosphere and like looking down on everyone.
Whoa.
I believe in, because it's kind of, I think about this from time to time. I won't be able to think of my life before me, but it's like,
You can though. There's meditations, and I actually wanted to try one today. I got a little distracted. I want to try it. There's this dude. He does a past life regression meditation on YouTube, and I've seen multiple counts. Again, shout out to TikTok. I learned this shit scrolling on TikTok because I'm tuned into the high vibrational shit. So I see high vibrational shit. I see no dance videos or none of that bullshit.
okay,
on my TikTok.
yeah, you're on the good.
It's the algorithm of TikTok. Hopefully that shit doesn't get banned, because I learn a lot from TikTok.
Wow.
We're already getting spied on. It don't matter.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, What was I saying?
I was talking about, you were talking about a meditation where.
So yeah, okay. So you past lives, you can't remember where you were before you were born, but apparently these people report to. I talked about this last podcast. It's I believe with you the
I feel like I was somewhere.
the Akashic records.
Yeah,
I think I brought it up. It's like it's like the database of everything that's ever happened and that will happen. That's like the best way to put it. And you can tap into that. Maybe it exists in a higher plane, but it's just source energy, whatever.
Yeah.
You could probably all of your past and future lives are in that record book.
It's in there. It's got to be
because you can access that.
I can remember
with
way
your
back
consciousness
to when I was a little kid. And some things are fuzzy, but I can still remember. Like,
what do you remember?
Way back. Something so small as I was on the front of a shopping cart and my older brother was pushing me on the shopping cart and I fell off. And I was probably like 4.
Yeah. We get these little frames of memories.
Yeah.
Little ones.
I have a very photographic memory. So those are the things that they flash.
And you're there again.
Yeah. And I can almost feel it. It's weird. But I want to remember before that because I feel like there's something there.
There definitely is.
You know,
there's information. There's people talk about like they meet their soulmates. It was a girl talking about how she was a man in a past life and she met her wife and she never felt so much love in her entire life.
Wow.
She's in this meditative state, but she was there and she was seeing it and she was feeling it because again, your consciousness can access higher dimensions.
Yeah.
When you just shut the fuck up, put your phone down, and just center yourself, bro, and just breathe. And you can reach these higher planes. That's why float tanks are so fucking cool. Shout out to Tom at Float in South Jersey. Float tanks are next level. That's meditation on steroids. There's no sensory input. You're just floating in a void.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes when I get anxious, I think about the breathing techniques that you mentioned when I had you on mine. And you're like, dude, they changed my entire day. And I will do that, what you just did. And
I don't want to blow it right in the mic.
Yeah, and just
you breathe, man.
I do that, and then that I change so quickly that I think about it, and an hour later, I was like, whoa.
Yep.
All of that happened because I took a deep breath.
Yep. You recenter yourself.
Like feel it in your rib. Yeah.
You connect with the God within, with the energy within.
It's insane. It's
powerful, man.
Yeah,
we're
really
very
is.
powerful. And look at that. The sun just came out. It's been raining all day. Here's the sun.
Look at that.
Here comes the sun. I wish I had this. Here comes the sun button. But you're right, dude. Breathing is everything. People. That's meditation. So powerful. The term meditation. There's a billion ways to meditate. And I talked about this last time we talked. I'm gonna talk about it again because it's valuable. One single breath is meditation.
Yeah.
Coming back to the present moment. It's meditation. You're fully centered. You're not worried about anything but here and now. Because here and now, talking about time and dimensions, here and now is the only real time, really only real moment. Time is created by humans, but who the fuck knows what time is, bro?
Yeah.
Time for us is linear.
Yeah.
But coming back to that single now, I have this book. I would check it out. Onwards Book Club. Link in my Instagram bio. The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. It's like now is the only thing. And I love books like that because they have their own different forms of meditation, whether it be Code of the Extraordinary Mind, first book I mentioned, or The Power of Now, all these books.
Yeah.
They have really, really cool meditations in them. And again, I think the key to all the stuff we were talking about, whether it be aliens, accessing higher dimensions, consciousness, like meditation is how you connect with that whole magical realm in the universe.
Yeah. I tried to put someone on a book a couple months ago. It's called The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. And,
heard of it?
Robin Sharma.
Okay.
He speaks very highly on meditation as well. And I think I made a mistake describing the book because I started it off by saying it's a self-help book.
Okay.
When people hear that, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't like those. Well, regardless of the messages that are in the book, they just write it off completely. You know what I mean?
The self-help books are the only books. All the books behind you are self-help books.
And people are like, oh, I just can't get into those. I guess as opposed to people that like reading novels more or reading science fiction, stuff like that. But
I agree.
I don't know. I just always like to benefit upstairs, and I feel like that's the best way to do it.
I think there's more value in the self-help books.
Well, however you want to call them, whether it's
a book on how to lose weight, it's a book on how to expand your consciousness, it's a book on like what I want to talk about 50 Cent and Robert Greene's book. This is a perfect segue back about the 50th law. And in that book, it talks all about becoming self-sufficient and not relying on anybody. 50 Cent is one of the most perfect examples for that.
Right.
He started a mixtape, he got shot, and then he was about to put out an album, actually. He got shot, and the record label dropped him. They were like, oh, sorry.
Yep. Dead man walking.
Dead man walking. But he kept pushing. He didn't let that adversity, that failure slow him down. Eventually, he became 50 Cent, who we all know. Yeah. Jimmy Iovine and Eminem picked him up, signed with them, and look at him now.
Yeah.
He's making hundreds of millions of dollars. He's an actor. Mr. Curtis Jackson.
Right.
That's the man. But he didn't give up, and he became fully self-sufficient, relying on yourself to do those things. We don't want to do shit. You got to do shit. If you want to have a podcast, or you want to have a brand, or you print T-shirts, or move to Florida, like you got to move the chess pieces around and do the right things, bro. In other words, set it up so that energy flows. Does that make sense?
I feel you completely. We're in the same realm. Yeah. A buddy of mine mentioned me the other day. He was like, a streamer buddy of mine.
Good.
He was like, yes, doing stuff like this is incredible. Taking the leap, taking the chance. But some people, they're perfectly okay with being an accountant the rest of their lives and making a lot of money.
Glad you said that.
So I feel as though maybe meditation and stuff, and maybe that's not for them because they're comfortable, which is completely fine, which is okay.
Could I tie that to what Gary Vee says? Because I know you love Gary
Vee. Please do.
It's all about your level of self-awareness.
Yeah.
You might be in a 9-to-5, and if you're in a 9-to-5, hey, man, get your bread up. Like, if you're, like, sometimes you got to be in a 9-to-5. We've all been there. You've been there. I've been there. Like,
and that's great.
If it's great if you are okay. Because here's the thing with the 9-to-5. Have you seen The Matrix, man?
I have.
The Matrix, it's, this quirky, like, there's action flicks and they're flying around and like it's kind of cringe. Yeah, it's like kind of cringe.
Dodging bullets, like.
But the symbolism in the story of Neo and like waking up and escaping the Matrix. Keanu Reeves will say it himself. He says The Matrix is a documentary on how to free your mind from the invisible prison that we're in. A prison for your mind. They're going back to the media and GMOs and fluoride in the water. It's all keeping us asleep to that divinity power that we talked about, where we can do and control our entire reality. They don't want us to know that shit.
Yeah.
So the Matrix is about waking up from that. And once you wake up from that, if you want to escape the rat race 9-to-5 and just, or whatever, you can.
Yeah.
But you have to be self-aware about it. A lot of people don't know that they're in this Matrix. They don't know that they're in this weird sort of form of, it's a system. You're in this weird machine that where you trade your life energy for a paycheck.
Yep.
If you, dude, what I can do in an hour here in my own space, think about what you can do in an hour in your own space, or if you're just like locked up in an office somewhere working at Target. And again, nothing wrong with that. But if you don't like it, you can change it. If you don't like your reality, you can change it. Some people don't know that. You're not stuck. You can keep moving.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to eat the shit a little bit, like Gary Vee says.
Yep.
But as long as you're aware of, I am here now. I'm here and now. I'm going to focus on the present. But I can. I don't like it, but I can change it.
Yeah.
I think some people just don't know that. So it's when you wake up and escape the Matrix, through whatever, through suffering, through adversity, through taking psychedelics, whatever. Like once you wake up from that and you step in, I think if you learn anything from this entire conversation is like, we as human beings can do and create and manifest anything that we literally can focus on with our consciousness.
Yeah.
Where energy goes, energy flows.
I'm starting to learn that basically what you and I talk about a lot, we're speaking to a very specific group of people.
Yeah. So if you're here, you're fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks
and
for being here, man. This is so cool.
Everyone
I love this.
will completely understand.
It's okay.
Which again is completely okay.
They're not on that vibration.
But because we have our own things, this is why we want a deeper level of thinking, and we ask why to many things.
Absolutely.
We want another answer to everything.
Everything.
And
why not, man?
I think a lot of people working from home are going to learn about this too, whether they're older or younger. Everyone being, a lot of companies that are going to be work from home full time for probably Comcast, for example, people will work from home. Maybe they're going to start to realize that, oh, maybe I liked the 9-to-5 because I liked going somewhere and I just liked that.
Yeah.
But when you can't do that anymore, then
you change. You're forced to change. For example, we'll use my dad. Dad, sorry, but it's a perfect segue, and it ties it full circle. My dad worked in a corporate building. He's director of a company, and he was there. Oh, did it stop?
I think so.
Yeah, restart. Oh, this will do too. Restart. We good? Okay, we're good. 59 minutes.
Cool.
Keep going. Feels good. My dad was in that rat race. He loves it. He's a company my grandparents started in their house, and it's grown to something awesome. They got parts out on the Dragon vehicles and the SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets. So, like, a company that my grandparents started has pieces that could end up on a different planet someday, and they're floating around space. So that's pretty cool. I feel connected to that in some way. It's really cool. And he
full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
He's been working from home during all of this. We went to his office. We picked up his standing desk. We brought it back in his truck. We dropped it when we pulled it out of the truck and like scratched the top a little bit, fucked it up. But he's been working from home, and he's gotten so used to the routine. He's like, I don't know if I want to go back. I don't know. I don't know if he's not watching the news. He's starting to do different things, listen to podcasts. I walk in his office. He's got Mac Miller bumping, Tame Impala. Like, he's Tupac. I put him on a Tupac.
Love that.
He's listening to Changes by Tupac, and he's like, or Hit 'Em Up. He's listening to Hit 'Em Up.
No way.
First off, fuck you. The Biggie diss track. And he's like, he's telling a story, man. Like,
yeah.
He's learning shit. And I feel like real humbled to like put him onto that because he appreciates the fuck out of it. Like, he always says, not anymore, but he'd be like, man, especially with like hip hop and the culture that came out of hip hop.
Yes.
The culture that helped shape you and I and everything that we're doing.
Yep.
He's like, man, I was around for that, but I didn't just like pay attention to that shit. Tupac, all that stuff, NWA, even like Slick Rick. I put him on to Kool Herc, DJ Kool Herc, and the first hip hop party that everything evolved from. I think 1974, 1976, DJ Kool Herc threw a hip hop party. And he just appreciates it, and it's cool that he can experience it through the music. And he's like, he's vibing Tupac. Like, I would have never thought that. And it's cool because I'm putting him onto this stuff. Not to like toot my own horn, but you owe that to your parents, man. You owe that to other people because of how much it's helped shape you and how positive the positive ripples that sent out into your life. You want to give that back to anybody.
I love that because usually parents wouldn't even bother to listen to the same stuff that we do. That is cool.
It is,
and
man.
that's very different.
It is, but it's amazing. It's all because my dad kind of woke up and he started questioning things around him and being more in tune with the energy around him and how he's feeling and more in tune with his body. And it's cool, you know, whether it be the music or I'm sending him Joe Rogan, Paul Stamets podcasts where he's learning about the incredible benefits of mycelium and fungus and mushrooms, and and I'll walk in and he's listening to 528 hertz and he's working from home, and it's because I think it's because the energy I bring back to the house for sure helps with it.
I believe it.
And we're both in here doing our thing, but it is cool, man, to see whether it be your parents or anybody. Just I reconnected with our friend Miriam down in Florida, and like I've been showing her, or anybody you meet, and you put them onto the things that have helped you.
Oh yeah,
in life, and
that's what it's about.
Have brought positivity and love and light and inspiration and motivation and learning new things in your life. Like, we owe that to people, man, and we know. At least I know I owe that to people. That's I think what I was put here for.
And that can hit someone at the very right moment, dude.
Someone's probably crying right now.
Yeah.
Listen to this. I hope if you are crying, dope.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Love
Feel
you for
it. This is powerful stuff. We're evangelic. We're evangelists for whatever, man. For
the meat suit.
Just waking up to your own divinity, and just again having the power to do anything, man. It's confidence. It's just it's self-awareness. We know we can do this shit, so we do it, and our quality of life is better. We attract more good things because we're focused on good things. Bad things come, like, for sure. Like, shit happens all the time, but it's if you choose to identify with that.
I couldn't tell you the last time I said something bad about anyone. No. Honestly. I just don't. Dude. I've stopped that completely. Whether I like what they're doing or not, I just don't. I don't know what it is.
Joe Rogan says it best. He says, look at everybody else like they're you in a different body.
Yeah.
That's what it is. When we were in Florida for senior trip in high school, shout out to the 27 Club. This was crazy.
You're going way back.
This guy in Florida, we were in some part of Disney, it might have been Magical Kingdom, and we were in some kind of safari section.
Yep.
And there was this dude there, and he's playing the drums. And we're all vibing, and Eli and everyone, they're dancing to it, and it's like, hey, it's like one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was cool, man. And we were just vibing with him. He's playing the drums for us. It was cool. It was a very hip hop moment. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
So he said to us, you know, he appreciated us and this and that. This guy from Africa, and he said, I am who I am because you are who you are. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it just kind of clicked. I was like, yeah, I mean, looking back now, after 5 years later, what he said makes sense because, like, we're all connected. We're all that. We all come from that same energy. So how are you gonna talk shit? Me, if I'm trying to hurt you, Brandon, I'm actually hurting myself.
Yes.
And vice versa. You're actually hurting yourself. Anger is poison or it's acid that eats away at the thing it's contained in.
There's something built inside of you to want to say something bad about someone else.
Yeah, man. Again, it's ego. It's all ego. That's
Huge.
one thing that I've been able to, because what meditation does, especially I would check out if you're interested in meditation after this. If you've never thought about it before, anybody I recommend, download Sam Harris's app, Waking Up. It's a guided meditation app, and it also has Sam Harris's podcasts and some little chats he has where he just talks theories and ideas he has. I've been doing these guided meditations for a few months, and I love them. 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes, man.
Wow.
And you start to think about consciousness in a whole new way. The way he teaches it is you're able to step out of the ego, if you will, and become the observer of your thoughts and your emotions and the energy around you. And when you're able to do that, you're able to shift even quicker. If things do go down or, you know, whatever, you're able to kind of step out of that and be like, okay, what's going on here? Am I going to choose to go down this path, take in this energy, or am I not? So you kind of become the observer of certain things. And that changes your brain, man. It really changes your brain because you start to think about life in a different way. I was recently hanging out with some friends, and when it was over, I was feeling some type of way about it. I was like, man, I was leaving Florida, and I started to feel a little emotional because I'm with my family, my friends. It's like, I'm going to leave. I don't know the next time I'm going to see these guys.
Yeah.
You know, I felt a little sad. And then Ryan was like, okay, because he's been doing the yoga and the same meditation as I am. He put me onto all this, the app and the Peloton app. He said, well, okay, well, you're feeling sad, okay, on the way to the airport. He's like, use your meditation skills to observe that thought and, like, where's that coming from? I was like, wow, that's powerful. And I was able to. And I thought of where it came from. And I, like, instantly shifted out of that, like, oh, so, instead I kind of flipped the script and made it into something positive because I identified this feeling of sadness from coming from a place of, like, man, I don't know when I'm going to see these guys again. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, I miss them because I spend a lot of time on my own doing my thing.
Right.
I got a lot of shit I'm working on, so my time and energy are valuable, so I try to put them in things like the podcast or Onwards or anything.
Yeah.
So the reason that... You sip water, hold on.
How did you kind of flip that?
Well, because I recognize,
that's a hard thing. Yeah.
That's where the sadness is coming from, or this emotion this energy that I'm feeling is coming from that place. And that's quite beautiful because it shows that I love my friends and that I feel that, because it's so important to surround yourself with people who, like, the people that help bring you up, people who aren't going to talk shit about you and bring you down and, you know, prevent you from growing and moving forward. Yeah, surround yourself with people who lift you up and build you up and support you and hype you up and fucking come to your house and sit and record an hour-long podcast. Like, you need those people because, you know, the more the merrier, man. Like, there's strength in numbers. And
I think it takes a very special person to step away from what you just said. Like, oh, I'm going to miss these guys. People will, they'll soak in that stuff for a long time.
They do.
And
they
they don't
live
know
in
how
it.
to get out of it. Yeah.
They live in it. Or
so
someone,
for you to step out of your own head, like, look, that's great and all, but, like...
Well, that's through meditation.
Yeah.
It changes your brain.
Yeah.
You start to understand, because, again, you connect with that consciousness. You realize, I'm not my body, I'm not my fears, I'm not my problems, I'm not my ego. I'm this other thing inhabiting this. Let me go back to that and actually observe what's going on, because that part of you is pure love. It's pure light and pure love. And now that it's ego. Ego is what it's like, that little demon. We're all possessed with this ego demon. Ego could be a good thing, but it's not your soul. It's not pure love. It's resistance. It's
resistance.
Fear.
Love that.
It's talking negative about somebody.
Yeah.
It's not realizing your own divinity. Like, it's all ego. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. I can't start a podcast. I don't know shit about podcasts. I didn't know shit about podcasts. You didn't know shit about podcasts, but now look at us. We got this crazy ass legit setup.
Yeah.
I know that I can do those things.
Yep.
because I'm living in love, if you will. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not letting that ego control my decisions. And it's been like that for a while, because I'm not going to lie, dude, in high school, I was a sheep. If you were to tell me 50 Cent was the best rapper, and I probably agree with you up there, he's top 5, I would say. Top 5 to 10, we'll say.
Okay.
But if you were like 50 Cent's the best rapper, and I was like, nah, bro, Mac Miller's the best rapper. And you were like, nah, bro, 50 Cent's the best rapper. I'd be like, yeah, okay, 50 Cent's the best rapper. I wouldn't like, I was like a yes man almost.
Yes.
You know,
you were telling me about this before.
Let's go here. I don't want to go there. Oh, okay, no, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Like that kind of shit. Yeah, because I just wanted people to like me because I was living in my ego. And again, I think it all goes back to childhood trauma and, again, I guess moving to a new town and being a different kid. I always knew I was different, bro. I used to show up in school and I would bleach my hair when I was in 6th grade. I wanted to be like Eminem. Because, again, hip-hop was inspiring me since 1st grade, man.
Me too.
6 years old. 5, 6 years old. And I always knew I was different. And I felt resistance as a kid because kids knew I was different. Kids are assholes, bro. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like most kids, but again, I think that's all just like a reflection of the parents and how they're raised. You could tell how somebody is depending on how their dog acts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
so, the point of all that is I knew I was different and I just wanted you to like me. So, okay, 50 Cent's the best rapper. Do whatever you say. Whatever you say. Where do you want to go, Brandon? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And again, to tie it back to psychedelics, I don't hate that I always go there because they have actually helped my life in an incredible way. And people,
dude, I know that they have. I can see it.
You know,
it's insane.
You know it has, and we've talked about this before. And because again, they help you break patterns. You're caught in this rut. You're in the same mundane task. You're stuck somewhere. Like you take LSD or you take psilocybin, and there's plenty other psychedelics out there. But I would say the main two, if you're interested and you're starting, again, not an advocate for psychedelics. Not everybody should do them. If you're schizophrenic, don't do them. But they also have incredible potential.
Yeah.
The people that they do resonate with, they help. Onwards wouldn't exist. This podcast wouldn't exist. You and I probably wouldn't be as close. It's powerful. And
very.
It's because when you're able to break these patterns and step outside the situation, almost become that observer and see things from a higher dimensional standpoint. Your consciousness is enhanced for 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 hours, however long it takes. And you tap into these new things and these new energies, and you're like, well, you start to wake up. You're like, wow, there's more. There's something else going on here that is familiar. Like when I smoked DMT, full disclosure, yes, I've smoked DMT. A lot of people have. Recommend it. You go to the shape dimension, okay? And I've showed you pictures, and I've showed you. But the craziest thing about all of that was it feels. There's no you. It's familiar. You feel like you've been there before.
Wow.
And that's the most interesting part about the psychedelic experience. Is it's very familiar. And again, it's probably because the things and realizations you have on these compounds, these psychedelic compounds, they improve your life. They make you a better person.
Yep. You
take mushrooms and your heart opens up. You feel so much empathy and compassion for the world and the planet and the people around you. And
what the world needs.
My friend Ryan, he said he experienced the pure feeling of love. Pure love. He's never felt anything like it. Pure love. Tori was crying. Like it was so beautiful, like feeling that. And these compounds give us a glimpse into that dimension. Like we're able to access it for a short period of time. And then you start to realize you can start to access it without the psychedelics. Because it's almost like, I like to say, they unlock parts of your brain. And once they're unlocked, they're unlocked. You can tap into that.
Yeah, you were saying like pieces at a time.
Pieces at a time. So for me, it was feeling the energy in my hands. I was listening to Jimi Hendrix on LSD, and I remember feeling like this. And the best way I can describe it is you take two of the same sides of a magnet, and when you put the two same sides, you feel the resistance. That's what it feels like in my hands right now. Mm-hmm. And I can tap into that whenever I want. And that's your energy, man. Like, we can all do this. You can do this. And it's real. I remember I showed a few friends and like, holy shit. Feel it. Feel like there's
yeah.
I wouldn't lie about this because like it's.
I'm doing it right now. Yeah, I'm doing it on the table.
It feels like there's a ball in my hand.
Seriously.
It's real. And I was able to tap into that. That's just like one of the things, different realizations you have. Even crystals, man, like putting a crystal. I have this amethyst crystal here. Shout out to Gary's Gem Garden. You got some citrine right there. These things are billions of years old, man. Seriously, these are billions of years old, and they're colorful, and they're vibrant, and they're shiny, and they're
intense.
They're
for sure.
They're magical.
Very.
And I remember I was on LSD. Because look, the way I'm not saying I take these compounds as like, to have this frat party giggle fest. Like I take them to expand my consciousness, and every time I do them, I feel like, okay, I'm leveling up. I'm learning something new about myself and about the universe and reality I live in.
Yeah.
Tapping into the magical aspect of this world around us. And I took this not this one in particular. I took an amethyst crystal and I put it on my forehead. And I laid there. I was in this somewhat of a meditative state. I started getting all of this information from the crystal. Ideas, thoughts, creative ideas for onwards, and things I've acted on and that I've actually ended up like pulling through a little bit. Like I got information from a crystal.
Dude, I'm looking just at the reflections bouncing off of this thing, and I'm thinking just creative things.
They're very psychedelic.
Yeah, just the way that the lights, and I've never done any of that stuff before, but just
never
you mentioning
tripped.
that, I've never tripped, and I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, damn.
They're psychedelic.
Just the creativity. Yeah, for sure. Right in my hands.
Take a look at this one.
Yeah, I was looking at this one earlier.
Put that one down. That's billions of years old. That's cow copyright. Look at how colorful that is. It's called peacock ore.
Damn.
Cow copyright. It's like this sparkly glittery blue with hints of purple. It's like a moon rock, dude. It looks like something. Insane. It literally looks like it came from outer space.
Seriously.
It's billions of years old.
Wow.
That's conscious. That's a form of consciousness, bro. You're looking at that and you're connecting with it and you're holding your hand. You're feeling the weight. You're feeling the energy of it. Like, that's you.
Yeah. That's insane.
And you can communicate with them.
This thing's huge.
It is.
Well, my forehead's huge.
It's big. It's like 4 pounds or something. It's pretty big.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's cool, man. It's all energy, and we're all connected, and you can tap into it. And there's a quote. I forget who said it, but it's once you wake up, once you discover your divinity and realize there's magic all around you and there's synchronicities and you can create your own reality, you just walk around with in a constant state of amazement.
Always.
Life's good, man. Shit happens.
Who are you telling?
Life is good.
So good.
Life is always good, no matter what. You just keep moving. Like if shit happens, okay, what can I learn from this? What is this trying to teach me? Not why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Or how does it go? It's not why is this happening, it's what is this trying to teach me?
Yeah.
Don't be the victim, man. Step into your soul and figure out what it's trying to teach you. Hop over that obstacle. Do the work you got to do because you can get around it. Some people, they hit a wall. They start a business. They start a podcast. They hit a wall. They're done.
Done.
I hit so many walls trying to get this podcast up and rolling. I don't even have the right microphones yet, but we're sitting and recording it.
Or, another thing is just getting angry generally. I couldn't even tell you the last time seriously. I was really pissed off either because sometimes I'll get a little mad and I want to say some things to certain friends and I'm just like,
no.
Breathing technique.
Yeah.
I'll breathe and I'm like,
come back to yourself.
What was I thinking? Yeah.
Come back to yourself.
Yeah,
get out of your ego.
It's quick in and out. Exactly. And that'll help so much professional, maybe starting a hobby or doing something like this. You get frustrated setting these up. You say, fuck this. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. But you really want to do it.
I really want to do it.
Relax. Yeah. Like
really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I hit a lot of walls setting this up.
Yep.
But again, walls are part of it. The journey is the destiny. The journey is the destination. It's been a long day, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That backwoods got me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, you can do whatever you want to do.
You said you were going to do this too. I'm proud of you for it.
Thank you, brother. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you guys are tuning in, Brandon was the first podcast I ever did. We sat down in my apartment in Philly right before I moved out. We made it work right when COVID hit. We sat and we talked, and that changed everything, man. Really did. So I appreciate the fuck out of you.
Of course.
It's cool, man. And
you see, I figured it out. I don't even know if I'm doing it the proper way, but I'm saying. I can do it.
As long as you just make something. Just make something. Use your phone and record it. Put your AirPods in. Sit in front of it and talk. You don't need all this fancy shit. This is just for a podcast. You don't need all this fancy shit to do it. I just appreciate these kind of things, and I have the resources because it just makes it easier, in my opinion. It does. And I also, you know me, I like having toys, bro. This room, I got a samurai sword. I got Buddha statues. I got a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. There's art everywhere. There's cause statues.
But
there's plants.
Like I texted you yesterday.
It's everything.
Like you like doing things the right way. Super professional, which is great. Like with the heat press. Yes, you just make things as simple as possible. Even if it costs you a little bit more, it's just the investment.
Money's a tool.
Exactly. Rather than getting the little pieces at a time and then having them break, having to replace them, you're just balls to the wall. Boom. It's a tool. All out. And then
I think a lot of people also because not gonna lie, this shit's expensive. It adds up. But again, the reward is greater than the risk. Money comes back. Sure. Money comes back. And if you're not in the best place financially, you could change that.
Yep.
You could change that. It sounds crazy, but COVID's one of the best things that ever happened to me from a financial standpoint. I had 2 jobs before COVID hit. I had 2 jobs. They were both gone. They got wiped out. I worked at the North Face. I worked with North Face, and then I did I had a weekend gig doing photography for weddings and mitzvahs and private events, corporate events. Can't go to weddings. Can't go hit up a North Face store for months. I got a new job, new gig, super grateful for it, but where I'm doing design work and I'm doing what I love. I don't have to go to parties anymore or like go to the mall. Like,
yeah.
And it's because I manifested it. I set that intention. I write journal. If you guys don't journal, if you journal and write down your goals and intentions.
Yeah.
I am manifesting wealth and abundance. I am attracting opportunity into my life. I am wealthy in all areas of my life. I'm attracting love. I am whole. I'm good enough. I am mighty, like Thor says. Like,
yes.
Affirmations are a real powerful way to trick your subconscious into truly believing you have the things. Because again, that going back to manifestation and being able to create your reality, where energy goes, energy flows. Like, I visualized what we're doing right now, whether it be the job I have or this podcast or starting onwards. Like, I visualized it. Journaling's really a really important part of it. Getting your thoughts out on paper. When you see it and you read back and you go to it, you're documenting your life. Let me flash this on the camera.
Did you ever hear of Mr. Lazaro? He was a high school teacher.
Yes.
So what we did my senior year was for Beowulf. So Beowulf's character, he documented everything. He had a journal.
Okay.
So we were required to wear these little journals around our neck.
Okay.
For, I think it was like a month.
I like that.
He said, if anyone wants extra credit, you have to wear this journal around your neck for the whole rest of the year. And don't let me catch you without it. I was the only person in the class that wore it. So I'm wearing this book around my neck. I went to my parents' house yesterday to get some old stuff that I left behind. Okay. And the book was there.
Wow.
I have it in my backpack right now.
Did you read it?
I wrote things about the NFL draft. I wrote things about football practice. I wrote things about small goals that I wanted to achieve going to college, blah, blah, blah.
Did you smash them?
Dude, I was reading it. Oh, by far. Yeah. I mean, I got some things in the draft wrong. I was saying like different teams should draft different players. I said the Eagles should have drafted Allen Robinson and they pooped it. Definitely should have.
Okay.
But just, little things like that. Dude, these were written in 2014.
Wow. Like, you manifest it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
so journalism, huge.
You write these things down. Here, this camera died, so let me just like film you like this. And we'll wrap it up soon.
Cool.
Here, just let me know if you can be the. Just let me know. Just press record.
Beautiful.
Sorry, folks. First podcast, we're running into difficulties. I need cameras that don't die. You know? And when you said that, can you check that one too? We good? The audio's been recording the whole time. That's the coolest shit. Like, we don't even have to worry about the audio. It's rolling. Yeah, start it over. We'll wrap it up soon. We're an hour and 22 in. It's crazy, right?
Beautiful.
Cool,
yeah,
man.
This is amazing. Dude,
it's fun, man. Dude, I got that from the North Face store.
This is amazing behind me.
That mural. Hold it around. Yeah, let's get some cool camera angles, bro, with you recording this. Cause
so this is behind me. Let's see what we got.
Show him the stew. Show him the stew. I was printing all my T-shirts in here a few weeks ago. And then I got this standing desk. Shout out to Autonomous Desks. Check this out. I'll stand it up. What's up? Welcome back to the show. I got this desk standing up. I was printing in here. I was like, you know what? Let me just move everything to the basement because I wanted to have the podcast in the basement, but now it's in here.
Love the Jordan piece, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Love the Jordan piece.
Techno Drone. I've got a couple cool pieces from them.
Yeah, we were making shirts just in this room the other day, just right over here in this area.
Yeah, we were making shirts. Now it's a podcast studio. All the shirt stuff's in the basement. Cool, man. But anyway, let me flash this journal real quick because I think it's important, man. You write down your goals. Write shit down. Get it out of your brain and just watch it manifest. But set that intention and don't just write it and never think about it again.
I'm going to be a billionaire.
Something, okay, sure. But like, how?
Yeah.
Write that shit down. Plan, action, try new things, test it out. Like, how are you going to get there?
Exactly.
Write it down.
Small goals.
But don't start. If you're listening to this, you're going to start journaling. Don't write, I'm going to be a billionaire. Start with $10,000. Manifest $10,000 first. I've done it many times.
Yep.
Manifest $50,000.
Yep.
Make your way up.
That kind
Prove
of
to yourself
takes me to Gary Vee, though. It's like, why 10,000?
True. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Just to make small goals for, I want to make $10,000 because I want a car, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
We'll take it outside of money.
Awesome.
Take it outside of money. I want to manifest starting a podcast.
Yeah.
No matter how small it is. I want to manifest that. I want to manifest new relationships, new friends. I want to manifest new experience, new opportunity.
Can you share some of the stuff that you got there?
Yeah, sure. So
how far is this?
So this is 2020. It says Eric 2020. This is a new journaling method I started recently. And I have these tabs in here. And every tab's a different aspect of my life. So the blue tab has to do with onwards. I write ideas for onwards and just things I'm trying to hash out. Just get it out of my brain. Yeah. You know what I mean? This was stuff for the new website, right? And then I have a knowledge section. I like to make it nice and colorful.
Abundance.
It's all abundance. There is a season for sowing and there is a season for reaping. This is some Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich type stuff.
Yeah. That was a tough read, by the way. It was kind of dry for me in the beginning. That was a tough book to read.
It's been a few years since I've read it, but behind you, it's all tabbed up. There's so much shit highlighted because that's how I read books.
Yeah, smart.
Podcast, YouTube ideas. Here's the original notes. Oh, that camera, did that turn off, bro? Yeah, it did. See if hopefully it's not dead. Press that top button. Is it dead? See what the batteries are saying. On the screen? Yeah. Dead? Yeah. All right, well, anyway, we could just keep it going, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you want to record yourself with your phone and I'll do mine with my phone? I'll look at you. Yeah. Just put it there and I'll tell you if it's good. Yeah,
look at that. Bro, you're so smart. That's a good angle.
So smart. We're shifting it up for you guys today. Let me fix my hat. I feel like the hat's pulling off. You just turn that off.
Yeah, these headphones are definitely. Oh.
Technical difficulties, folks. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because this is reality. Okay, you got to test and you got to learn. This is like some Gary Vee setup. Yeah. But it's not.
That camera looks good though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It does look cool there. I do like that a lot. We should have did that the whole time, but we're learning.
Yeah.
But Gary Vee and I are on that same wave where we deck out the spaces.
Yeah, super decked out all the little knickknacks.
Cool, again, it's important to surround yourself with things that inspire you, because every time you look at it, I don't know. For me, I get something out of it. I connect with the energy of it, just like you holding that crystal. And you said you were looking at that crystal. You get creative thoughts.
Yeah, dude. I was talking to you and I was rubbing my fingers on it.
Yeah.
I was getting stuck in it. I was like, oh
shit. It's real. You should get some crystals, bro. I'll send you some for your new apartment in Florida.
Beautiful.
But whether it be looking at that MJ, I look at MJ. I'm like, that's greatness.
Yeah.
That's work. That's hard work. That's dedication. Yeah, okay. He was a little bit of an asshole and he had a gambling problem. I saw the Jordan documentary, okay? Yeah. But like...
He had a competition problem, not a gambling problem.
You can't deny the greatness of Michael
dude,
Jordan.
Hands on his knees, fucking looks like the flu game.
Here. This camera's dead, but... Yeah, it looks like the flu game. That's probably what it's from. But how many points did he drop in that game? He played with the flu. I don't know how many.
Close to 40,
but
I believe.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Greatness. I have that Kobe. I have that Kobe Bryant jersey in there.
Yeah.
Wasn't cheap. Waited 5 months for it.
Yeah, you waited a while for that one.
It's more than a jersey. I wear that. And I think I told you about this. Maybe I wear it. I feel great. You feel that greatness. You're able to tap into that energy.
You know what's weird? One of the last things that was still hanging up in my closet was my Shaq jersey.
The ones that we matched with?
Dude, and I put everything else in the bags. The Shaq jersey, as soon as you open up my trunk, it's laying there by itself.
Here, record yourself with your phone.
I don't know why. Like,
that's powerful, man. I mean,
it's fucking weird.
You look at those things and they make you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
I mean, I wanted to put it in there earlier. I just don't know why I didn't.
So real quick, just to wrap it up about the journaling, these are the first podcast notes. I did research. I looked it up. I put the work in, and you learn shit when you look it up. Isn't that amazing? You actually learn shit, and you get better. Talking about USB mics, dynamic mics, condenser mics, which are what these are. Different audio stuff, different equipment, different ideas, different cameras. Panasonic G85. That shit will record nonstop until it dies. I need one of those. You learn stuff, man. I have a whole section on spirituality. I do tarot card readings and like that's a whole other thing. That's just another way to tap in and communicate with the universe. And again, you look back at this stuff and you're like, wow, look at this, man. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah,
it's
look
really
at that.
powerful. And it's really beautiful too. I get cool art out of it.
Damn.
It's cool t-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like the notes that I take right now, I take notes in my phone, but it's like
it's different.
It's so different.
There's a different power that's it. But yeah, I journal about all different kinds of things. I get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Out of my head.
And put it somewhere.
So
that desk is sick, by the way.
Put it back down. I have this fountain pen. And I write shit with this. This is
Look at that guy.
This is it's different than here, you have a little notepad, try it out. Now, writing shit down is cool and all. You should do it. But when you write with a fine writing instrument like this I forget what brand it is, but it's just a fountain pen. It's a really nice fountain pen. The shit you write
reminds me of the feather.
It's a
should be a feather on the back.
It's a nib tip.
Yeah.
And it's ink free flows from the tip, metal tip. And when you write stuff down, it just has a different energy to the stuff you're writing. You feel more pride when you write with it.
Yeah, it's more free flowing.
It's cool.
For sure.
Check out fountain pens. But again, it all goes back to the importance of just writing down your goals and things you wish to manifest, because you can. You have the power to.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to look back in 20 years when I'm still writing in journals, and I have my journal from 2020 of us sitting here and talking. You know, man, it's cool.
Yeah, very.
You document the journey. This podcast is another form of that. You're documenting.
Yeah.
All of it.
Our boy says that. Gary, documentation.
Exactly.
Talk about that all the time.
Just keep records. Like
you said, this is gonna last forever. These videos are gonna be floating around somewhere
forever. That we exist through this art.
Yeah.
Just like Mac Miller says, he says, it's a quick bar, but he says he exists through audio. And it was after he died, I heard that line and it hit different.
Yeah.
I was like, it's true. Like, he's gone, but like he exists through the form of his music. And that's what this is. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of tough for me to listen to him now. I'm not going to lie, since he passed.
I love it.
Yeah.
I still listen to him all the time.
Yeah.
Put my dad on. My dad loves Mac Miller. It's so cool to see. I walk in his office. He's got swimming playing. He's got Hurt Feelings. It's cool. Some of the older stuff, Faces is tough.
Very.
Watching movies is tough. Watching movies with
really?
It's tough because that's where he says, I think, exists through audio. In Someone Like You. He says, love me, that fentanyl, it numb me.
Yeah.
Fentanyl's what killed him, bro. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's almost self-prophetic.
True.
Doing drugs is just a war with boredom, but they're sure to get me. Talking about writing shit down and putting out into the universe and manifesting it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know, man?
Yeah. That kind of leads me to Pop Smoke. Like, dude, he talked about being a killer and ultimately.
Yeah, man. It's interesting what you can do with your energy, but.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard because, again, like Mac Miller was one of the biggest inspirations for me, and you know that.
Yeah.
And, Onwards, the name of Onwards was inspired by the Fight the Feeling video with Kendrick. Some fan made the video, and it's this dude running. I actually have the t-shirt design. It's the dude running, and the message of the entire video is just onwards, keep moving forward. Like, the song's not called Onwards, but, like, that was the vibe of the whole thing. And if it wasn't for that and just Mac Miller, and, again, helping shape who I was, because for me, Mac Miller came out in middle school, and what was going on in my life was the shit he was rapping about. Kids smoking weed, starting to go to parties, girls, and then I felt like every album after that serves as a different staple in my life. And that's Mac Miller. That's all kinds of music. But
the relatability, you're like, whoa.
R.I.P. Mac Miller.
Yeah,
miss you forever. Thanks for all the inspiration. Thanks for the continued inspiration, because I listen to this shit now, and it'll inspire a new design or whatever, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's wrap this fucker up, Brandon. It's been an hour and 32 minutes.
It's been real, brother.
It has been.
Dude, honestly, I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you, because you said you were going to do this.
Thank you, brother.
And here it is.
Here it is. Good luck in Florida. We're going to miss you. We'll be down to visit.
Of course, have to.
What else should we tell these people before we wrap it up, man? We talked about a lot. Fuck it. Let's just end it.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Stop complaining. Love you.
Stop complaining. You can do anything you
fucking
want.
Do it.
Thanks for being here. This has been the second edition of the Onwards Forward Evolution podcast. Me and Brandon Hammons. We're getting right. It is a cool. Like it's cringy, but it's a good. It's a good
so
song.
cool. I love it.
It gets you hyped. I want to get a new one though.
Yeah.
All right.
Play with them.
Goodbye. Thank you.